And we're live. It didn't count down that time. Hey, welcome to West New York Brews. My name is Scott. I'm a home brewer just outside of Buffalo, New York. And with me, as always, as most of the time, because sometimes it's just him, sometimes it's just me, is Brian from the Buffalo Beer League. And we're talking about the Buffalo Beer Buzz this week for the first time in forever. A Frozen reference. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. How have you been?
It has been a while. I apologize for not being on the last couple of episodes, but I've been good, staying busy. Clearly, too busy apparently to be on this podcast. But
Yeah,
I'm
right.
happy.
You're a
I'm happy to
very
be
busy
back
person.
chatting beer.
So you're not drinking beer right now, but did you tonight?
I did not have a beer tonight. I thought about it.
What?
I worked late covering for a guy that was on vacation, so I worked, ate a quick dinner, and then hopped on with you. And then I thought about having a beer, and I just couldn't peel myself off the couch to get one.
You know
That's
what?
the height. That is the absolute height of laziness.
Too lazy to drink.
Yeah, too
Um,
lazy to walk like 20 feet into my kitchen to get a beer.
I totally advocate dry nights as well too, and have dry nights during the week. But Thursday nights, I planned an Instruments of Pride again,
Ooh,
which is the same beer I was drinking for the Bills' loss this past
oh,
week. And
okay,
I was at a campground in Wellsville, New York, and there was a couple hundred people watching it with us in a pavilion.
that's cool.
And everybody's drinking at 9:30 a.m.
Of course.
It was raining. Everybody's drunk by noon and walking around like drunk zombies.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy. Right?
Well,
Everybody's
right.
pissed. Um, yep. It was an interesting weekend. It was interesting. The weather, if it was really sunny and awesome like it was, 8 days ago,
Yeah,
it would have been
the week
amazing.
prior.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so we're going to get into the Buffalo Beer Buzz this week, and we'll do that right after we get through our theme song, and we'll tell you all the ways that you can support that, and we'll be right back. So this beer that I'm drinking is 10%. I don't think I mentioned it. It's from Rohrbach out of Rochester. It's 10%. It is a caramel macchiato imperial milk stout. So I figured that would be a perfect thing to start a 9:30 drinking session, a coffee beer, because everyone else is drinking Bloody Marys and beer mosas and mimosas and cider mosas and all sorts of mosas. But I don't like Bloody Marys.
Yeah, neither do I.
Right? I'm okay with the Bloody Mary, but I'm not in alcohol for the buzz. I'm in it for the taste, and I like beer. So I found me a caramel macchiato imperial milk stout, and it really hit the spot. It was really good.
That sounds good.
But it is
Plus, Rohrbach
10%.
makes nice beer.
Yeah. And the party I was with were disgusted that I said, "Ooh, don't throw that in the fridge. I want that room temperature
Ah,
by Sunday morning, please."
okay.
Right? And it has not hit the fridge because a caramel macchiato imperial milk stout. Do you want that refrigerated? I wanted that room temperature. I want
Yeah,
that.
you want it closer to room temperature because
Yeah,
if you keep it in the fridge, you're gonna have to wait for it to warm up anyways.
exactly. Right. I'll just keep it between my legs, um, chilling down my major arteries. I forget what those are called. My wife is probably in bed right now, like yelling at me the name of those arteries. All right. So you can support the podcast in a number of different ways. And you and I need to talk because I have a couple of shirts in packages and I don't have addresses. So
Oh
maybe
no,
you
okay.
do. Maybe you have addresses. I hope you do. Um, but anyway, there are a couple of ways you can support the podcast. You could leave a review because that helps us move up in rankings and people can see us then in Apple or Spotify or whatever podcast catcher you use. Apparently, Google Podcasts is going to no longer be a thing. Google Play Podcasts.
Oh,
Um, yep, they're getting rid of that. You could go to buffalobeerleague.com/Amazon and do your normal Amazon purchases. I can look up where we're at on that. I don't think we've made any money in the past couple of months, um, which is fine. But if you do that, it gives us a couple of pennies on whatever you're ordering. And I think in 2023, we've made a total of $22, which is not pennies. I'm happy for that.
Yeah,
Nope, 23.52. So look at that,
even better.
a dollar something in the past couple of months, couple of weeks. So any searching that you do on Amazon for that 24 hours, you don't pay anything extra, and it just kicks back a couple of things. There was one more. I forgot what it was to support the podcast. Either way, leave a review. Go to Amazon, do that shopping. Sign up for the mailing list. We'll send you an email every week, and that's about it, right? We're a member of the Hopped Up Network. You should check out all of the podcasts at the Hopped Up Network. It's a podcast network of independent regional beer podcasts, and we are one of the Buffalo Beer podcasts, but not the only one. The Buffalo Brews podcast is also on there, and check them out too. Members of the Hopped Up Network. Did I get everything? I'm drinking at 10%. It's tough. It's tough.
It sounded good.
I went to Butera's tonight, as I texted you.
Right.
I had their session IPA.
I don't think I've had that one.
It's called Nooner, and it was very good. It was good. I said it as I texted you, so you've already heard this, but listeners have not. It is a very full-bodied session IPA at 4-point-something%, and it tastes like orange juice. So check that out, Nooner IPA at Butera's. And then I came home and I had a Green Heart from Resurgence.
Nice.
And I'm currently drinking the Instruments of Pride. So we're 6 minutes in. By the time we get 20 minutes in, we'll see how much this is hit. Is what we're doing.
I promise the listeners I'll pick up the slack if you fall asleep mid podcast.
Sounds good. We're going to talk about the Buffalo Beer Buzz this week. You can find that at buffalobeerleague.com / Buffalo-Beer-Buzz-Sabres-Puck-Drop-Minky-Day -Oktoberfest-New I'm going to stop there. Just go to buffalobeerleague.com.
My titles are long.
They're long titles, but you know what? It's useful because you can see everything there.
Right.
You don't want to go there. Sign up for the mailing list. You'll get it tomorrow, Friday the 13th, by the way, in your mailbox.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or just go to buffalobeerbuzz.com, and it'll take you to all of the Buffalo Beer Buzzes with the newest one on top. You can also find them on stepoutbuffalo.com. And always posted by Sir Brian Campbell.
I've been knighted.
You've been knighted, right?
I've been knighted.
So let's talk about the one that already passed. The Sabres puck drop party at Southern Tier Buffalo.
I haven't done this in a while. There was a steady string of weeks, back-to-back weeks where I would write about Hofbrauhaus events that were going on while we recorded. And I was doing a better job of writing about them ahead of time, but this one got away from me apparently.
This one came right up here, and it already passed. It was at 4 p.m. a little over 6 hours ago, and we in the future from that know that the Sabres dropped their first game tonight, 5-1 to the Rangers. Excuse me, the other New York team.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. So this was their puck drop party that they had at Southern Tier Buffalo, but the event is already over and done with. But if there's anything we can take away from it right now, from my article, it's that they did release a new lager, which everybody should be excited about. Top shelf corn lager brewed with all New York ingredients, named in honor of the late Rick Jeanneret, of course. And this is part of their Buffalo Brewed series, and you'd be able to find this at Southern Tier Buffalo. I would imagine maybe all season long. I'm not sure yet. I don't have that confirmed, so don't
at least as long as it lasts.
Yeah, as long as it lasts. It's there right now, so you could literally go there tomorrow for lunch and have this lager.
Yeah, don't sit on this one.
Yeah,
because we don't know. We don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah, because they released Southern Tier for the Bison season. They released Pitch and Pills in honor of the Bison season, and they guaranteed that would be on tap all Bison season long. But they didn't. I don't remember seeing the language that this would be available all Sabre season.
Yeah, nope, not in the Beer Buzz at least.
Yeah, not that I have written here.
So I hope you made it out to that one, to the Sabres Puck Drop Party at Southern Tier Buffalo. Not you personally, because I know you didn't, but I hope people listening, I hope you made it out, and I hope it was a great event.
I wish I did. I was actually just thinking. I was thinking about it yesterday when I was writing this. That it's been too long since I've been to Southern Tier Buffalo. I gotta get down there because I love the food there.
Did you see the RJ patches today?
Yes.
Yeah, nice, right?
Yeah, they're very cool.
They're bigger than I expected too. Like, holy cow, that's right there.
I mean, it's for Generette. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. Yep. So let's go to Minky Day.
Ooh.
Because that's this Saturday at Kohl's. Thin Man teamed up with Atrium for Boodle Boy, a 7% parfait-inspired sour with raspberry and lemon granola and yogurt powder. Ooh, granola, huh?
Yeah, leave it to Thin Man.
Right. So this is Minky Day, obviously named after Thin Man's Minky Boodle. There's a bunch of things here that you listed. Do you want to go through a couple?
Yeah, so real quick, new venue this year, obviously with the closing of Thin Man Elmwood, temporary closing of Thin Man Chandler. This is at Kohl's on Elmwood, Minky Day. So basically what they did for the past couple of years, they've teamed up with 4 different breweries, and each brewery they do a variant of Minky Boodle. Buffalo's favorite sour, a sour with raspberry. You've more than likely had it. If you're listening to this podcast, I assume you've had this.
Oh
beer.
Yeah, right.
So
if you haven't, welcome.
You had mentioned the beer they did with Atrium.
I started with the Atrium one. Yep.
They also teamed with Grimm Ales, Artisan Ales, of course. Grimm, great New York brewery. So on Super Boodle, a 5% Citra dry hop Goza with a Goza style take on this sour with raspberry, passion fruit, and orange zest. They teamed with RAR. If I'm not even pronouncing that right, it might be RAR. I don't even really know.
RAR.
Yeah, right. So that's on, and they have a great slushy. They have a great slushy sour series called Out of Order, and so this one's Minky's Out of Order. It's a 7% blue raspberry sour, and then finally they teamed up with Tripping Animals, a brewery I waited in line for at the Shelton Fest.
Oh, nice.
On Minky Limonada, which is a 7% raspberry pink lemonade sour. So all 4 of those variants will be available at Minky Day.
I've never heard of Tripping Animals, but that looks like it's out of Miami.
Their beer is very good, and I waited in line for them.
All right. So, tickets are $45. $5 will go to the American Cancer Society and include exclusive access to Kohl's back patio. 1 times 7-ounce pours for each variant. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so 7-ounce pours of each variant. Thin Man glass, a free Minky Boodle mimosa bar, and live music from Olmsted Dub System. And purchase tickets here. Where are you going to find that link? At buffalobeerbuzz.com and click on this week's Buffalo Beer Buzz. And you will find that link to purchase tickets. So Thin Man Chandler, are they closed because of the change in food?
Well, so the story is out there that the guys that own Jackrabbit, not guys, excuse me, I'm sorry. The team that owns Jackrabbit bought Tapo, but
right.
And they were renovating the building. I don't know how much renovation it actually needs, but they were transforming the building into a music venue that was going to serve Thin Man beer because their production facility is obviously still there, and serve food, not strictly just pizza, but they were going to still have some of Tapo's pizza recipes on the menu. I haven't gotten the full story yet, but that's what I know.
All right. And I trust the Jackrabbit people to do a good music venue.
Sure. Yeah, Josh and his team have done a great job with Jackrabbit. If you've never been there, and like everything that they do to support the local music scene, support the local beer scene, those guys are great. Obviously, Josh is former employee of Thin Man, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to beer.
And my band has played at Thin Man Chandler, man, at least once a year for the past 3 years.
Guy.
Sometimes twice a year. Sometimes twice a year. At least once a year.
My podcast host, local celebrity,
Queen City, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. Right. I'm going to do a quick tangent here before we go
Ooh,
into the
please
next
do. I
one.
love tangents.
I went to last something tavern, last run in Colden last
Oh,
night.
is that the one you is that the one you tweeted about?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I saw that.
Glenwood in Glenwood, and it was nice. It was the beer selection was much better than I expected for
Okay.
what pulling into it looked like. Oh, this is kind of a dive bar,
Yeah.
or a towny bar, as we used to say in college. Certainly not a dive bar. The wings smelled amazing. I did not have them, but it was for an open mic last night,
Oh, okay.
and oh, I lost where did I start this sentence? Lost what we were talking about. Hold on. We were talking about. All right. Nope. I'm going to listen back and I'll be like, you asshole, for forgetting where you were in that sentence. But anyway,
You brought up the tavern you went to.
yeah, no, it was a good time last night. Beer was good. Food was good. Music was good. I think that was it. I think it was because of the music. All right. No, it's gone. Sorry. Next.
Fantastic.
Great job on this tangent, Scott. Awesome
Wow.
job. Yep. Ellicottville. Nope. Let's stop on that because that's too far away. No, everything else we're good. Sorry. Let's talk about the Turkey Trotter, the Turkey Trotter beer from Big Ditch, teaming up with YMCA Buffalo. And as a village person, I love my YMCA beers. Big Ditch has partnered with the YMCA on Turkey Trotter. Is this the first time they've done this?
Yeah, I believe this is the second year.
Okay, second year. Brewed to celebrate the Turkey Trot. Have you ever done the Turkey Trot?
No. I mean, I don't mean to dismiss it because my brother actually comes home. It's on his birthday normally. My brother comes home from Connecticut where he lives to run the Turkey Trot every year. Our own Mark Jowett and his girlfriend Becca usually run it every year. So
Nice.
I don't mean to poo-poo it. I'm not a runner.
That's what I took it as when you made that sound. I was like, "Well, no, I
No,
would not do that." Which I'm the
I
same.
fully support the Turkey Trot and what it represents. Like I just said, I have a lot of friends and family that run in it.
How long is the Turkey Trot?
Ooh,
I don't know that. Do you know
that
that?
is not a question that I would know.
Yeah, I know, right? Is that a 5K or is that a half marathon? It's got to be a 5K, right?
You would think. Let's
No,
find
it's an
out.
8K foot race.
8K.
How many miles is that? 8K to miles. 4.97. I got to tell you, that's at the end of my ability to quotes right here for people listening, air quotes, run a race. Yeah, but people who do it, good for you guys.
Yeah, good for them.
It seems like a fun time for people who like doing that kind of stuff.
Especially to those who get up that early because it's on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You get up that early after the biggest party day of the year, and good for them.
Right? I'm cheersing my 10% beer to you health conscious people. Nice job. Oh, it says it's the oldest consecutively God darn it. The oldest consecutively run foot race in the world.
Oh,
Established
the world. I did not know that.
1896. The in the world is on there. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know, right? Yeah, I ran one 5K, I think, ever. Where I signed up for one, and it was a Sabres 5K, and I was not the first in running, but I was literally the first in line for beer afterwards. I took a picture and I made sure. They literally opened the bar with me there. And I had my ticket, like, can I get a beer? And they said, not yet. Okay, yes, now you can get a beer. And I was first in line. Because, priorities.
That's awesome.
But this beer, the Turkey Trot beer, released by Big Ditch. So it's going to be quality, right?
Yeah, I drank a bunch of this beer last year. It's very, very easy drinking. It's So it's a blonde ale, right?
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's very light and like with kind of like, I don't want to say bready. It's not bready. It's like biscuity, like crackery malt notes, and
Nice.
it's very crisp, very easy to drink. It goes down smooth, which I mean it's meant to, right? It's a beer meant to be drank after you run the turkey trot, so that makes sense.
Excellent. And it's available to go in 6 packs or on draft at Big Ditch. And of course, if you want to register for the Turkey Trot, you go to ymcaturkeytrot.org.
Yeah, new this year, which I thought was kind of cool, is that on the cans this year on the can art, there's a QR code on the can where you can scan it on your phone. It brings you right to the registration page of the race.
Oh, perfect.
So you can buy the beer, drink the beer, and then register for the race while you're drinking. So
right, that's what I was going to say. Go buy the beer and then
Yeah.
register for the race. I might do it. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So I want to jump to Ellicottville here. The Brewing X Platters. I don't understand. Oh no, Ellicottville Brewing and then X. That's shorthand for something, right? Is that
Yes.
and?
yes.
Okay, and Platters
So
chocolate.
basically, I use that as a term of shorthand when I'm referring to a collaboration.
All right, because this affogato beer, which is a collaboration between Ellicottville Brewing and Platters Chocolate, this was one of the choices I was looking at for drinking at 9:30 a.m. But being more of a dessert beer, I thought, nah, I want more of a coffee beer.
Yeah, I actually had this beer. I spent last weekend in Ellicottville. My brother-in-law got married, so we were down there for a week.
Hey, cheers to your brother-in-law.
Yeah. Shout out to William if you're listening. And
Nice.
So we went over. I met a couple friends from Ellicottville, and we went over to the brewery. And this was the first beer I had. It was not. I know dessert. Okay, dessert ale will turn some people off. It's not sweet. It's not a sweet beer.
Mhm.
It's more Belgian-y. You still get a little bit of that espresso, but the coffee's not as dominant, like you were just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure the Rohrbach beer you're drinking has more coffee in it, but it was still really good. I had it on draft. I haven't had it in cans.
No, I've had this beer, and it's a phenomenal beer. And yes, sweet would not be the word to describe it. So as you listed it here, brewed with affogato, is brewed with Platters espresso coffee beans, vanilla, caramel, lactose, and Belgian malt to resemble Platters Chocolate Factory affogato. A scoop of vanilla ice cream drowned in a shot of hot espresso.
Sounds so good.
And it is. Have you not had this beer yet?
No, I just told you I had it.
I'm not listening when you're talking.
No, I said an actual affogato sounds awesome.
I'm reading as you're talking. I'm totally ignoring you. I'm sorry. No, my bad.
That's perfectly fine.
I'm drinking a 10%er. Reminder. But yeah, this is a great beer.
Yeah, and it's another one. I've really enjoyed the Ellicottville Platters collaboration series. Like I really enjoyed the what was the last one? I think it was like the raspberry truffle or something like that. I could have the name wrong, but that was my favorite. But the affogato is up there. I really enjoyed this one too.
Yeah, I didn't try that one. But the affogato, go find it.
Yeah.
Wherever craft beer is sold.
Oh yeah,
great craft beer is sold.
You should be able to find the beer at the brewery. I think they sell it at Platters in North Tonawanda, at the chocolate factory up there, the Wurlitzer, and then obviously wherever craft beer is sold, you should be able to find this.
How many Oompa Loompas do they have at that chocolate factory?
I've been there. I did not see any.
Okay, so not confirmed. Any Oompa Loompas.
But on a side note, if you are going to go to Platters, I mean, perfect opportunity to stop in, see our friends at Woodcock, stop in for a couple pints, and then go buy some chocolate.
Yeah,
same building. You park once, you go into both stores. Well, brewery and then the store.
Right, excellent. Let's talk about the Oktoberfest going on this weekend. One sec. So I'm going to read what you wrote here. Don't put your lederhosen away yet. As Oktoberfest celebrations continue at breweries around West New York this weekend, So October 14th, that's Saturday, Beltline has an Oktoberfest offering German foods and beers. New York Beer Project's Oktoberfest is on the 15th. That's going to be Sunday. Will feature German beer and food and a Stein hoisting competition in case you've been practicing. German costume contest, Wiener Toss, authentic German music, and more. Hofbrauhaus, of course, will host the U.S. Stein Holding Association New York State Championship on the 14th.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And Steel Leaf, have you been part of that yet?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I see people do it, and you think like, oh, that can't be hard, but it's obviously very hard.
I tried it once, not like in front of like real people. Like I tried it once with friends. It is way more difficult than you would ever expect.
Right in front of AI. Who'd you try it in front of? Not in front of real people.
No,
in front of friends.
That's not what I meant.
I know. I just thought it was funny. The wording. Steel Leaf is going to release their Fest beer and Oktoberfest at their Oktoberfest celebration on October 14th. So again, I want to recap what you wrote here. Beltline on the 14th. New York Beer Project on the 15th. Hofbrauhaus on the 14th. And Steel Leaf on the 14th. So there are a bunch of Oktoberfest still going on, which feels weird because it's already October to say that Oktoberfest are still happening. But
yeah, it's weird because the traditional Oktoberfest season, like the actual Oktoberfest season, ended a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
In America, it goes through the end of October. I guess they just assume Oktoberfest, October. It makes sense. But this is just a continuation. I had more. If you read the Beer Buzz last week, I had more events that happened last weekend. So this is just more happening this weekend. Have you been to any Oktoberfests this season?
No, I'm terrible. I bet you have, and I have not.
So I've only been to one.
Okay, only one.
We went to Hofbrauhaus last week for the Fest beer release last Thursday, and then I actually have one coming this Saturday. But it's a neighborhood thing. It's not like at a brewery.
All right, neighborhood thing. The Village of Hamburg, again, Village people, has their Oktoberfest, and I missed it this year because I had a gig, and it happens every year. I've got a gig on Oktoberfest weekend.
I feel like for the longest time, we were going like pretty steadily. We were going every single year to the Hamburg one. And then for whatever reason, the last like 2 or 3 years, every time they announce it, we always have something going on that day.
All right. Next year, we're going to go.
Yeah, I haven't been. I want to say it's been maybe 3 or 4 years since I've been.
So, well, yeah, probably pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So next year, we're going to show up at Oktoberfest together. Maybe we'll record. I don't know.
That sounds fun.
Last time I was at Oktoberfest, I got very participatory. I don't know how to say it. I got very drunk.
You put that very judiciously. I like that.
And I started to walk home in the wrong direction, and a bunch of people around me, thankfully, were like, "Nope, you walk home in this direction."
Okay, first of all, I know you said you were you had the cocktail flu, but you literally live right around the corner from October.
It's wonderful. I live a block and a half away.
So what way were you walking? Were you walking towards the village or like down towards the West End, or where were you walking?
No, I was walking towards. So if you're in that park, I should walk towards the lake. No.
Yeah.
From the park, I should walk. Well, I should walk down camp is what I should do.
Yeah.
Or Lake Avenue. And what I did do is I was going in the opposite direction. I was pointing towards where Mammoser's and Poorhouse.
Okay, yeah.
And I started walking in that direction, and people, luckily, like, nope, turn around. But, me being belligerent.
Yeah.
No, I know where I'm going.
Of course.
I'm fine. Not mean. Just like, no, guys, I got it. It's okay. I'm fine.
As
I'm walking home. I'm walking. You don't need to call me a cab. I can walk from here. And then I'd start in the wrong direction and nope, turn me around. That
as
was
I'm
that was
sure
yeah.
as I'm sure the majority of the people listening to this podcast, or maybe everybody, if you're listening to this podcast, when you're in the state that Scott was in after Oktoberfest, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
That's 100% true. And you know what? I still get made fun of for it 5 years later. And I wouldn't expect anything less
Yeah,
from my
right.
friends. Like, do you remember when you tried to walk that direction when obviously your house is this way? Like, yeah, of course I remember. Thanks for bringing it up every opportunity.
What are friends for?
That's right. Oh, my sister too. Sister, wife.
Oh, wow.
2 different people.
Okay, then.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say sister, wife. Two different people. Everyone pointing me in the right direction, and I was like, guys, I got it. You're fine. I got it. Don't worry. I didn't have it, of course.
That's awesome. You're like,
So
guys, I know where I live.
Yeah, right. 2 more stories.
Okay.
Let's talk about Sips for CP. Raise money and awareness for cerebral palsy at Resurgence Brewing. Again, Resurgence, shout out, second time this episode because I had a green flash. Oh, and I'm drinking out of my Resurgence glass right now.
Very nice.
By the way, Resurgence with an E at the end. I know that's not your fault. In the graphic for this, it's Resurgence with no E for some reason.
Oh, geez. That must have been a spacing issue when they put the other logos in there.
Yep, and it's not a you issue, it's a they issue.
I want to say I'm not sure who created this graphic that I have in this article, but I think pretty sure I took this from the Eventbrite page.
It comes direct from their page.
Yeah.
I checked. Not a huge deal. We know what they're talking about. The logo's right there.
Of course.
October 20th. So that is next week. Not next weekend. It's during the week. Do you know what day of the week that is?
The 20th is a Friday.
Oh, that makes sense. So yeah. So next Friday. It says it right. It says it right there. 10%. Sips for CP. Resurgence is teaming up with Make Lemonade for Cerebral Palsy on Sips for CP, an event to raise awareness and funds for individuals living with cerebral palsy. The event will feature a specially brewed beer, Smiles for CP Pilsner, with $2 from each pint going to benefit Make Lemonade for Cerebral Palsy, who raise awareness for CP, foster inclusion, and creating a supportive community. And again, I'm looking at Brian while I read his words to him. But the event will feature a 26 shirts pop-up, food from Meet and Eat Charcuterie and Imperial Pizza, desserts, basket raffles, bottle toss, and more. Tickets are $35 and can be purchased at the link found at buffalobeerbuzz.com in this week's Buffalo Beer Buzz. Anything you want to add to that?
Just, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it as long as I possibly can, that, first of all, any chance I can use our platform to promote craft beer for a good cause, that's something I've always championed since we started the beer league, since I started writing about local craft beer. Anything I can do to promote and foster that, foster that type of goodness, caused by something as simple as craft beer, I will take that opportunity every chance I get. Plus, it gives me another opportunity to promote a new lager, which is something I also champion. So
nice.
New lagers, craft beer for a good cause. There you go.
The Smiles for CP Pilsner. Again, with $2 from each pint sold going to benefit the Make Lemonade for Cerebral Palsy. And I like how at the top it says, raise your glass for life-changing physical therapy. My wife is a physical therapist who works with students with cerebral palsy. So, cheers to you guys out there, the physical therapists. And again, tickets are $35, October 20th at Resurgence. I'm going to make sure that Sam and I are at this one. Sorry, Sam, my wife, and I are at this one. And again, tickets are purchased at the link, which you can find at buffalobeerleague.com, or you can sign up for our mailing list, and I will make sure that it is in your email box tomorrow. There's only one more, and I'm at the end of this beer, and thank God there's only one more.
Perfect timing.
The 2024 Trail
You
Pass.
planned that so perfectly.
Whew. I'm muscling through this 10%er. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. The Trail Pass from Western New York Beer Trail is now available. That is next year's Trail Pass, the 2024 Trail Pass, which features, are you ready for this? 70 Western New York locations. Brian, 5 years ago.
Dude, I mean, seriously.
Not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. 70 Western New York locations.
I literally, so when Tom, shout out to Tom at Western New York Beer Trail,
Right?
he sent me
Cheers.
this info and I wrote it up for the Beer Buzz. And I literally tweeted, I had to tweet about it. I was just blown away because I just sat back and I was thinking, I'm like, when Scott and I founded the Buffalo Beer League in August of 2010, there were 3 breweries: Pearl Street, Flying Bison, the old Ontario Flying Bison, the scary Flying Bison, and Buffalo Brew Pub. There were literally 3 breweries. Now, the Trail Pass next year, 70. They're not all breweries, right? Now, granted,
of course,
they're not all breweries,
right?
But 70 places to get a beer. It's insane. That's absolutely mind blowing to me.
There's close to 70 breweries, even though.
Yeah, they keep them and they keep opening.
I know.
They
Right?
they just keep on coming.
So the Buffalo Beer Pass this year, signing up for the 2024 Buffalo Trail Pass, WNY Beer Trail Pass. I want to do it correctly here. The WNY Beer Trail Pass for 2024 includes new breweries: Johnson's Landing, Gowanda Brewing, Mystic Hills, Wayland, Buffalo Old, Shalubi Loofer, and The Ridge, as well as beer bars such as Rationales. I always sound like when I'm reading this, I feel like it's my reporting, and it is absolutely not. It's Brian's. I want to say it again. I'm just reading what Brian wrote here. The Beer Keep and Hamburg Tap Room, as well as meaderies like Bee Spit Meadery. By the way, never heard of that.
They are in Akron?
All right.
Hold on. No, Holland. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Holland. Yeah. I haven't been out there either, but I know they exist.
So new this year is a change to the buy one, get one wording. 12 locations with multiple offers and 6 more discount offers. And a digital version of the Trail Pass is coming soon. You can order yours online. Here, you go to www.wnybeertrail.com. Go there. wnybeertrail.com. And find their 2024 Trail Pass. $30.
Real quick, I just want to preface this. If you're going to read this article, I have a little bit at the end there that Scott you didn't get to about how they have a buy one get one offer for the 20. If you order the 24 Trail Pass, you would get a 2023 Trail Pass free. That offer no longer exists because they ran out of they ran out of stock.
Ooh, good for them. All right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, right. So yeah. I wasn't even going to mention it. And not because I didn't know that, just because, I've been drinking a 10%.
No, that's fine.
So
two other things real quick about this that I think are cool.
Yeah,
I didn't include them, but among the 2 other new places are, first of all, a coffee shop, which is really cool. I forget which one. I'll have a longer form article at buffalobeerleague.com soon about the 2024 Trail Pass, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. Good.
So
please.
A coffee shop will be new for next year, and Exhibition, which I thought was noteworthy because that is the axe throwing place that took over the old West Shore Brewing.
Oh, okay. All right.
They bought the lease and renovated the old West Shore tap room and clearance, and now it's an axe throwing place.
I just did that for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
And shout out to our buddy Jason Crossett, who's one of the owners of Exhibition, head brewer at New York Beer Brother.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good for him. And that's everything in this week's Beer Buzz. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Yeah, just two things real quick I wanted to point out. We had talked about just a few minutes ago, we had talked about Turkey Trotter from Big Ditch and the Affogato Dessert Ale from Ellicottville. I have longer form articles on each beer
Mhm.
at buffalobeerbuzz.com. So if you wanted to read a little bit more than I have on the Beer Buzz, you want to find out a little bit more about the beers, I have that up at the website right now.
Excellent. BuffaloBeerLeague.com. And then anything else?
No, that's it. That's it for right now, I think.
42 North Brewing presents their grateful 8th anniversary.
Yeah, I'll have that. That's next weekend. Crazy to
Awesome.
think that those guys have been open for 8 years, but
I know.
I'll have that written up for the Beer Buzz for next week.
So hopefully we'll talk about that next week.
Oh yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So I'm officially going to go to sleep. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to be asleep.
I am going to watch football and then slump into my couch.
Right, Brian, thanks for hanging out tonight.
Hey man, I appreciate the chance of getting back on to do this. I missed it.
Right? Yeah, agreed. Everyone else, thank you for listening. We're going to go out with the Rearview Ramblers with the Camp Out Beer with Condolences, and we will see you next week. The beer I drank this week podcast, and we'll come up with a beer for this week.
I have one in mind.
There it is. All right.
Because you can.